A family name, a global brand, tough equipment, and at the center, people getting important work done. Welcome to Vermeer. Here, we design, build, and support industrial and agricultural machines equipping important work around the world. This work takes a team of more than 4,000 worldwide, delivering tough yellow iron to a world striving to build better. Distributed through a global network of more than 600 independent dealer locations, our dealers deliver confidence to our customers, taking on job after job after job. And these jobs matter. Connecting people to the daily necessities of life, managing natural resources, and feeding and fueling communities. This is Vermeer, the result of decades of hard work, innovation, exploration, investment, and ultimately equipping others to do more. It started in the 1940s. America entered World War II, and while the war took place overseas, back in America, farmers worked tirelessly in the fields with a depleted workforce, many of them still relying on horse-drawn implements and manual labor. In his early 20s, Gary Vermeer worked on his family's farm. He was a tinkerer, an innovator, always looking for a better way. In 1943, Gary built a mechanical wagon hoist to eliminate the back-breaking work of unloading corn. Word spread quickly, and soon neighboring farmers wanted one of their own. And that's how it started. Gary, alongside his cousin Ralph Vermeer, started Vermeer Manufacturing Company November 22, 1948. Vermeer was now more than a name. It was problem-solving equipment, manufactured in a cinder block building on the edge of Gary's hometown in Pella, Iowa. Gary's brother Harry Vermeer would join in 1950. The team was building more than equipment. They were building a brand that would become globally recognized for impacting lives around the world. The first commercial success for Vermeer came a year after its founding in 1949. The Power Drive used a system of belts connected to a tractor's power takeoff to run hammer mills and corn shellers. It helped make work on the farm easier.
And you know, I put a little ad in the Wallace's Farmer, and we had a little box in the post office, and they brought these inquiries out with the bushel baskets. We had 1,000 inquiries in 1 week, and I had one man working for me.
Gary's spirit of innovation and problem solving guided the company's success as the mantra became, find a need, fill that need, with a product built to last, and simply build the best. Building on the success of the Power Drive, Gary introduced Vermeer's first product in its infrastructure line in 1951. The problem? How to better install tile to drain low-lying farm fields too wet for crop production. The solution? A machine to dig the trench. The Power Ditcher was a trencher powered by a tractor's PTO and made tile installation less labor-intensive, helping farmers get more done in their day. From the original tiling trencher evolved self-propelled, track-mounted power ditchers for the underground utility market. And in the late 1950s, Vermeer began to export these trenching machines overseas. Vermeer was now a global brand. And just like that, Vermeer was entrenched into infrastructure markets, innovating and manufacturing a long line of products dedicated to changing underground infrastructure around the world. After 3 decades, this little company had grown to nearly 1,000 team members as other areas of the business grew as well, tripling in size just 2 decades after that. By the 1980s, Vermeer tapped into the advancing technology of hydraulics, and a new line of trenchers were introduced. As jobs got bigger and tougher, so did the trenchers. Today, trenchers operate in ranges from backyard pedestrian use to large installations of fiber, gas, power, water, sewer, and under-drain installation. In the 1990s, infrastructure installation was changing. The challenge? Install utilities with minimal disruption to existing infrastructure. The solution? Horizontal directional drilling, a technology that allows utilities to be installed underground, going under roads and even bodies of water to make necessary connections. As jobs got tougher, the drills got stronger. Vermeer led the industry with innovations in its HDD lineup to make an impact on customers' productivity. Standardized controls, sound reduction, the ability to drill through rock, and power to footprint all help Vermeer customers take better care of the communities they work in. And often on HDD job sites, vacuum excavation equipment can be seen partnered up to soft dig and visually verify the location of existing buried utilities, driving productive and responsible ways to go underground. Vermeer MV Solutions in South Carolina and Florida manufacture a long line of Vermeer truck and trailer mounted vacuum excavators, supplying a growing industry. Along with increased demand for underground work, so came demand for drill operators to run the machines. In 2015, Vermeer launched the HDD Circuit Training Program, the first accredited certificate course of its kind, providing a comprehensive HDD operator training program teaching efficiency and expertise. Today, Vermeer helps deliver confidence to job sites around the world with equipment that connects people to water, power, gas, and high-speed internet, alongside technology that helps drive productivity. While solar contractors were using Vermeer equipment to connect solar farms to utility grids, Vermeer saw an opportunity to help add productivity to the job site. In 2011, Vermeer entered the renewable energy market with the launch of the PD10 pile driver, allowing customers to utilize the same local dealer support for their operations. Vermeer pile drivers meet the demands of solar contractors with different size models, automation features, and flexible operation, helping complete important work and manage natural resources. Just as Vermeer's infrastructure line grew from a need on the farm, so did its environmental product line. In the late 1950s, Gary needed to clear trees from his fields for crop production. The challenge this time, a tree stump.
There was really no way to take a stump out of the ground except with an axe and a spade. It was almost impossible.
He found a better way.
There was a couple of farmers out here, and they took an old threshing machine, and then they hooked that on the back of a Case tractor, and then they dropped that on top of the stump and they drive ahead. And boy, would that thing bounce and make a lot of noise. But I saw that working, you know, they did get a stump out with it. We thought if we took that idea that they had and make a 3-inch wheel that you could just pull that across the stump this way, that then that wouldn't bounce as bad and it might work. But the fellow that was running that thing made a mistake and hit the wrong lever and it went crossways. And we found out it cut about 5 times faster that way. And now that's where we've got stumps.
Vermeer's stump cutter ushered the company into the environmental tree care market. Vermeer's success in the environmental market was just getting started when towns and cities needed a way to clear trees and brush in their communities. This led to the creation of Vermeer's first brush chipper in 1977. Then, by 1990, brush chippers were in high demand and became the best-selling product at Vermeer. As demand grew, different sizes of chippers helped tackle a variety of tough jobs. Larger limbs and thicker brush made it difficult for operators to load material by hand. This led engineers to rethink how the Vermeer skid steer, originally produced for construction markets, could better serve the tree care, rental, and landscape market customer. Today, many skid steers can be seen on job sites loading materials into brush chippers and serve as a versatile tool for many job sites, thanks to a wide variety of attachments. Environmental-related work, such as storm cleanup, right-of-way clearing, and new regulations, laid the foundation for bigger work ahead. Regulations in the 90s across North America left few options for tree care businesses to dispose of stumps and large diameter wood. Landfills began turning away wood waste, and local communities enacted burn bans. Tree care businesses turned to Vermeer for a solution. And in 1994, a line of tub grinders was manufactured for high-volume material processing, but better ways were needed to handle even larger materials. So, in 2002, the horizontal grinder was developed to help contractors dispose of whole trees and more efficiently manage waste. And in some cases, turned back into energy as Vermeer supports the renewable energy markets with biomass. Acquisitions and product innovations cemented the presence of Vermeer in the recycling and forestry market. Today, trommel screens, whole tree chippers, horizontal and tub grinders, along with many industry-leading innovations, can be found on recycling and forestry job sites. At the same time, Vermeer was finding more ways to help manage environmental resources. In the early 2000s, an Italian customer needed to mine minerals from an area where traditional methods of drilling and blasting would not work. The solution? A more controlled method of mining. Then, in 2011, Vermeer unveiled the T1655 Commander 3 terrain leveler surface excavation machine. It's the largest machine manufactured in Iowa then and still is today. Surface miners use high-precision excavation and are designed to work in tough ground conditions. They extract minerals needed for everything from iodine to aluminum and can be found in quarries, mines, and even cities. By the 1970s, work on the farm was getting done, but some jobs were taking a toll on an aging generation. Farm implements helped make the work easier, but putting up hay was still a labor-intensive job. Then, during an early morning walk between Gary and his friend, their conversation would lead to a transformation of the hay industry. His friend wanted out of raising cattle. The work was just too much.
He says, "I'm tired of putting up hay." And I thought, if this fella who ought to be in the cattle business is tired of putting up hay, there ought to be a better way to do it. So the next morning, I went to experimental department, and we started figuring out how it would be to make a bale that would weigh a ton. And so then we started building that. And then I went to 10 county seat towns in southern Iowa. You know, it's got all cow-calf operation. They came out by the hundreds. Those cars would back up a mile on the road. And people would come in there because, boy, they were ready for something better as far as haying was concerned. So we made those demonstrations, and the next day, you know, you'd see a lot of them same people there again, and then you'd say, "Well, how come you came again?" "We want to see if we work 2 days in a row," they said.
Almost overnight, the large round hay baler revolutionized haymaking and Vermeer. The company doubled in size. Orders for balers stretched manufacturing production and capacity to the limit. 3 new manufacturing plants were constructed in just 9 years. Throughout the years, new balers were introduced with mechanical and technological improvements, helping meet the needs of customers with balers of different sizes and capabilities. Innovating didn't stop, however. Productivity and operator comfort continued to be a priority. And in 2017, Vermeer launched the ZR5 1200 self-propelled baler, an all-in-one machine, efficiently moving through the field and comfortable for the operator. In 2021, CEO Jason Andringa commemorated 50 years of the round baler by using the ZR5 to successfully complete 50 bales in just 50 minutes.
And to do it on this land that has so much family history going all the way back to the invention of the baler, something I'll never forget, to be able to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the baler.
Today, Vermeer continues to lead the forage industry with concepts like automated baling assistance technology on self-propelled balers and an autonomous bale mover. Vermeer forage solutions include a complete haymaking product lineup with mowers, rakes, tedders, bale wrappers, bale processors, vertical mixers, and feed wagons. Vermeer is a global brand today, following its humble beginnings on the farm. Customer loyalty grew thanks to the innovative products that help customers complete important work, and also because of the sales, parts, and service support delivered by a robust dealer network. In the beginning, dealerships were started by Vermeer team members leaving Pella to establish territories. The first of these began in Findlay, Ohio in 1960, fanned out across the United States, and then around the world. Today, Vermeer has over 500 agricultural dealer locations and 200 industrial dealer locations, delivering confidence to customer job sites. Diverse products and markets require a diverse dealer network, demanding expertise that understands the culture and needs of the regions where customers live. To strengthen this localized support, Vermeer has manufacturing facilities and regional offices located in both domestic and international locations, strategically dotting the map. Vermeer has evolved from a one-man shop into a globally recognized brand, owned and led by first, second, and now third-generation family members. Gary Vermeer believed in finding better ways, listening to ideas, and empowering curiosity. After founding the company, Gary remained CEO until 1989. Gary's 3 children, Stan, Bob, and Mary, later joined their father in the family business. Stan in 1975 to 1986, Bob in 1974, and Mary in 1982. Bob and Mary's leadership in the 80s spearheaded the 4P philosophy of principles, people, product, and profit, a definition of the company's culture that still serves as the foundation for business decisions today. Bob Vermeer, second-generation family member, took over as CEO in 1989, remaining in the role for the next 20 years. Bob's vibrant passion for people played an important role in creating a caring culture, demonstrating how to live it out in work, in life, and for others.
I always enjoyed the people part of the business and really love to see people grow in their positions. They're encouraged to improve themselves, find out where their giftedness and what they can add to Vermeer. And I think that kind of goes back to the 4P philosophy, and hopefully we have modeled that as a family for all the people who are here.
In 2003, Bob shared the CEO title with his sister, Mary Endringa. From 2003 through 2009, Bob and Mary guided the company based on the heritage of their father with a vision for the future. Mary became the sole CEO in 2010 as Bob transitioned to chair of the board. Under Mary's leadership, Vermeer experienced increased productivity in the plants with the adoption of lean manufacturing methods, and emphasized workforce development by attracting young talent into the manufacturing industry.
Continuous improvement really is taking waste out of the system. We always want to leave the value added in the process, but there are so many things that are non-value added. And if you can reduce or eliminate those, that helps you be a lot more productive. And it has enabled us to be profitable, but also be able to reinvest back into the business.
Mary served as CEO from 2010 until 2015, when her son, Jason Endringa, took over. Following an intentional succession plan within the business, Jason was ready to continue Vermeer growth.
Of the 4 Ps, principles are at the center, treating other people like you would want to be treated yourself. And I think that's an incredibly important theme throughout Vermeer's history. I feel like my grandfather operated that way. My mother operated that way. Both my uncles operated that way. It's been part of our history for 75 years, and there is no way we will deviate from that at any point in the future.
Jason, a third-generation family member, has led Vermeer through some of the most successful and profitable years in company history, but has also experienced significant challenges too. In 2018, an EF3 tornado hit Vermeer headquarters in Pella, Iowa, causing major damage to plants 5 and 6. Fortunately, only minor injuries occurred, and everyone on campus was safe and accounted for. With 400,000 square feet of manufacturing space demolished, Jason would lead the way.
We are going to come back better and stronger than ever before, no doubt about it.
Vermeer Strong became the rally cry, and the team proved to be exactly that. Strong, passionate, ready to rebuild for a better tomorrow. 30 days after the tornado, all team members were back to work and production was fully operational. New construction began shortly after, and Shop 48, a building dedicated to innovation, opened in October 2019. The Eco Center, a hub to responsibly process waste, opened in February of 2020. And Plant 7, an all-new state-of-the-art manufacturing facility, opened in November of 2020. Investments continued beyond tornado response efforts. Growth happened in South Carolina and in the Netherlands. In 2023, operations began in the new 300,000 square foot global parts distribution center, fulfilling orders for parts from dealers and customers. Vermeer is equipping customers around the world with equipment and technology that delivers a productivity advantage, supported by a dealer network that delivers confidence. So at the end of the day, the important work of helping build a better world gets done. The Vermeer family is committed to this, with family members leading the business in key roles. Mindy Vandenbosch, third-generation family member, serves as Vice President of Operations and oversees the production of Vermeer equipment.
At the end of the day, if we build good quality product, it just makes it easier on that dealer and that customer, because we're trying to fill a need for our customer so they can get the job done productively. And so that all rolls back into how we design it, how we engineer it, how we build it. And so that's where my team comes into place, is that we're going to build good quality product so our customers can run and get the job done that they need to do.
Alongside these two family members, the greater Vermeer family actively works to support the values that have driven Vermeer's success for decades. For 75 years, our team, our dealers, our customers, and our communities, each doing the important work of equipping our world to do more. On the drawing board, on the shop floor, in the field, on the job site, every day, around the world. Vermeer is committed to the decades to come, equipped to do more, helping build a better world and a better future together.
I'm incredibly proud of the 75 years that brought us to this point, and yet I am thoroughly convinced that our best and brightest days are ahead of us. We have 4,000 plus motivated team members that I'm very proud of, bringing unique skill sets and passions to their jobs so that we collectively can drive this company into the future that I think is incredibly favorable for Vermeer, our dealers, and our customers. I think 25 years from now, we're going to be amazed by what we've accomplished, and yet at the same time, what we see in front of us will be even more exciting.